Have you ever had that feeling where you want to hold on to a memory or experience so powerfully, but you just can't because a memory or an experience is never going to be a tangible thing? Well, today we're going to be talking about creativity as a form of catharsis. Welcome to topic 5 of the creative journey, creative catharsis. Now for me, I experienced this feeling quite a lot, amazing family moments or really close moments with friends. You kind of want a way to hold on to it forever, but it will just pass, and that's life. And I'm not saying just take a photo or film it. That won't solve this feeling. I mean, in some ways it's nice to reflect, but ultimately this is just a human process, and these things will never be tangible. So we're talking today about how to use creativity as a tool to process that. So today's video is going to be a little bit more personal. It's going to be about a project that I worked on a couple years ago now that was a way of processing my own catharsis. So I'm English, I live in Australia now, but I grew up in the UK and I moved here about 9 years ago now. I get to go back and see my family about once a year, sometimes a little bit less, family and friends. And that's always a deeply emotional experience for me. I have like a week or two to catch up with those really core family members. And there's a lot of emotions and a lot of things that go along with that. And I've been through this experience of going back and spending that couple of weeks with people a few times now. I've been doing that since I got here. And every time, those emotions pass through, and every time I kind of think, I just need a way to process all of this. I go back and I take photos and they're nice memories, but there was something more, something that I sort of needed to say about it. A couple of episodes ago, I spoke about a book by Sean Tucker, which I'm going to bring up again, The Meaning in the Making. Now, in this, he talks about the chaos of life and how creativity is a way of creating order in that chaos for yourself. For me, these emotions of going back and seeing family were this form of chaos, and I sort of needed a way to process all of that into something that spoke to the feeling that I experienced. But that feeling you can almost never put into words. It's a deeply personal thing, and I don't think it can be said through just words alone. So one of the times I went back, I took my camera with me, and I do this every time, and I would go back and take stills and little bits and bobs, but this time I filmed a little bit more, and I actually took my video camera with me out and about to all the things that I did. And I kind of ended up with all these random clips of everything. And I often do this, and then I'm like, how am I going to put this together? And it took me quite a long time to kind of get to a point where I was like, this is actually what I need to do. I thought I was just going to sit on that footage as a memory and keep it. But at some point, it all added up together, and I was like, yeah, this is what I need to put together. I need to sort of say something to this feeling, and that's going to help me. So it took me a few months to get through that. Just like when I had a bit of spare time, I just looked through a few of the clips, and it would be a lovely experience just reliving those memories. But I'd also start to combine them and put them with certain bits of music and just play around, and that in itself was quite cathartic. I was processing those memories and those feelings, and I would stop for a bit and then I'd come back. It was one of those where you sort of chip away and then you stop and forget about it and procrastinate, and then I'd come back. So it took a long time for me to do, but eventually I got this to a point, and I played a bit of average guitar in the background and combined it all, and it was saying a thing that, like I said, I don't think you could put into words. It was something that I kind of wanted to make, and it felt like the right feeling that it was portraying.
That rock that you hold onto, but is forever changing. Ephemeral as days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. And those feelings and memories of old change.
So, I combined this and I exported it and I sent it to my family, and people watched it, and it was really nice for them to see that. But equally, it was lovely for them to see those experiences, but it was actually the most important part of it was for me. It was my way of processing those feelings.
Memories that are almost tangible. Family. Home.
And I actually didn't do anything with this video for like 2 years, so it was not, well, I still haven't shared it. This is sort of the first time that I would have put some clips over this video. That's the first time it's been out in any form of public domain, so there was no reason for me to do it other than for myself. And equally, having done it, I felt like I almost had got through these emotions, and though they will still happen again, it's a way that I processed this, and that was really beneficial to me. So I feel like I've kind of almost learned this now, that when you have these experiences, or at least for me, when I have these experiences and I feel like I need to find a way of holding on to it or processing those emotions, this little creative process often can help with that. And it's really interesting, but the more I live now and the more things I experience, like I got married a few months back, and I did the same, where I just had the camera out and I've been slowly going through that footage, and that's just like such a nice way of processing all these crazy emotions that happened. It's a really important tool, and it's something that I think I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my life. So I encourage you, if you're a creative person like me, this might be a way of working through those experiences and emotions. And it doesn't have to be filming or taking photos. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be artwork. It could be painting or drawing or pottery, anything like that. That could be your way of processing that emotion. So I hope that resonates in some way. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. We all do work through these things in different ways, but for me, that works. And I hope if you try this out, it works for you too. That's topic number 5 of the creative journey. We'll be back in a few weeks for the next one.